My three audience members are my husband, my grandmother, and my mom. And we have a surprise guest who is a very relevant member of the audience.
Kennedy.
Our dog, Kennedy.
Kennedy.
According to their website, the ASPCA officers investigate 500 cases a month, and this is just in 5 suburbs of New York City. Imagine that all over the country. They estimate nationwide that one animal is abused every 10 seconds. This is a major problem in our society because most people own pets. A 2012 study by the American Veterinary Medical Foundation said that in the U.S. last year, there were 70 million pet dogs and 74.1 million pet cats. So that's a lot of animals we're talking about. I myself have raised several cats and dogs growing up, and I'm also an animal lover. Animal abuse is a major problem in this country, and I believe that as Christians and as stewards of creation, we need to take a better job of stepping up and taking care of it, because that's our job here. The 3 things that we can do to do that are to support stricter laws against offenders who are cruel to animals. We can tighten restrictions on adoptions in shelters, and we also need to promote spaying and neutering animals to make sure that there aren't unwanted animals out there. The definition of animal cruelty, according to the Dictionary of Forensic Psychology, is behavior carried out intentionally to hurt or torture an animal, which may cause its death. It is a cruel act that causes pain and suffering to the animal. And this is a problem that definitely needs to be addressed for several reasons. One of them being is that it can escalate to worse problems if it's not something that's dealt with at this stage. Miranda Shirley with the RSPCA of Australia says that there is increasing evidence for links between animal cruelty and child or spousal abuse is an area of growing concern internationally and of real importance today. Another reason that we need to show compassion to animals and stop this abuse is because God values animal life. It's mentioned several times in the Bible. Luke 12:6 says, "Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? Yet not one of them is forgotten by God." Now, we need to step in and solve this problem. One of the ways that we can do it, like I mentioned earlier, was supporting stronger laws against offenders. A lot of times people who do these things to animals are not being punished strictly enough, and so they feel like they can just get out soon or pay the fine and do it again. It needs to be a lot harder for them to feel like it's worth it. Another thing we can do is we can tighten restrictions on adoptions. We need to make sure that anybody coming into a shelter is actually intending on providing a good home. That doesn't mean saying that you have a dog and then chaining it outside and not ever giving it a second thought. We need to make sure that these are going to be loving homes where people are going to care about the animals and take care of them. And we can promote this by tightening the restrictions for getting animals from shelters. And the last thing we can do is promoting spaying and neutering, because a lot of animals that run around these days are not spayed or neutered. And so when we're having more animals being born, that creates more of a potential for people to take them in and then abuse them. So in conclusion, I feel like animal abuse is a problem that Christians really need to confront, because we are assigned to be stewards of all the animals on the earth. And so we need to feel a need to take more active roles in this. And there are several ways that we can do that, which I've mentioned. Thank you for your time.